A worst date story? Millionaire Matchmaker, hands down. Nothing worse than that. Just don't believe everything you see. You know, reality TV isn't always what they make of it. Editing can work in mysterious ways.
When I was in college, I went on a date, and I would just do worst dates for fun because I think it was funny. So I showed up to a date in a McDonald's shirt, and I was telling everybody I just got off work. I didn't work at McDonald's. I was wrestling in college, and I just thought it was funny, and she was kind of pissed about it, and she's like, "How embarrassing!" And I was like, "Why? I work at McDonald's. Is that embarrassing?" And I kept on making a scene, and it was pretty funny. I used to just like bomb dates just for the funny story to tell all my like college roommates. Actually, we ended up dating for a while after that.
I'm on a date with this girl, right? Pretty girl, blonde chick or whatever. No, I don't have a thing for white girls. And we're in this lounge or whatever, and we were chilling, and then, we kind of getting to know each other or whatever. I think it was our second date, I think. And then some guy was sitting across from another angle, and he was a good-looking guy. You know, I give guys the props, they're good-looking. You know, like that tall, dark, and handsome white dude type. Got that jean shirt on, hair and shit. I kind of like the guy at one point. But anyways, he was sitting across, and then, I was talking or whatever, and then, she would like look back and forth. And I didn't pay too much attention. And then one of the time I just kind of caught it, and then I guess she would just look at him. But in my mind, I was like, oh, I guess he's an attractive dude. You can stare on him. And I'm like, she kept doing it back and forth. And I was like, all right. So I got up, I went to the bathroom, and I wrote on a piece of paper her name and her number. And I went up to the guy when I was coming back. I was like, hey, man, I'm on a date with that hot girl over there, but she is in love with you, bro. She can't stop staring at you. Here's her number, and here's her name. I think you should call her. And I think she saw me talking to him. And then I came back, she's like, what was that all about? I was like, I gave him your name and your number. She's like, why did you do that? Well, you seem very interested, so I figured I would just introduce you to. By the way, his name is Hank. And I said, have a good night. Boom, I was out. So I don't know if that was a worst date, but I kind of handled that well.
I don't really have any bad dating stories. I just have more like stalker stories. I used to work at a salon before I was professional fighter, I was an esthetician, so I did facials and waxing, and I had a client that came to me like every month to get his eyebrows done, and he was laying down on the bed, and I was like waxing his eyebrows, and he just grabs my face and he pulls me in and he kisses me on the mouth, and I was like, what is this? What is going on? And it was so creepy, and I was like, bleh, 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 bleh. I'm like, you better tip me really well, buddy. So that was creepy.
Did he ever come back?
No, he actually never came back. I had to tell the salon, I had to tell my boss to not let him book appointments with me anymore.
If like I went on like a blind date or like you got set up date and then you get there and the girl's not who it was or it's not as pretty, I'll run out on the bill straight up. I'll just eat and then I'll take off running on the bill and then whatever, and then one time I did it and I made the mistake of valet parking, so I just ended up getting caught.
The worst date story, falling asleep on a girl at the movies.
That would be my worst date story, would be blind date from the UFC. When we did a week of UFC fighters doing blind date, that was probably my worst date. But it was fun, it was a good experience, and what not to do.
I don't have really a worst date story, but recently a fan hit me up and asked me if they could ask me a business question, and then carried on to tell me he wanted to pay me for pictures of my feet and me to send him my shoes, preferably ones I didn't wear socks with. And to make it even weirder, he wanted my boyfriend's shoes too.
I was on Facebook and I was with some friends. I had friends in Northridge in like the Greek community, and this girl followed me from there, and from her pictures she looked good. She was pretty in the face. From like all the pictures were from here and up, and she looked good. And then I picked her up and I saw her walk out the house, and right away I was like, wow. Like, pictures can be deceiving, and the whole day I just wasn't into it. She was dull. Like, she didn't even have a personality to go along with it, you know what I mean? And I like my nice fit girls, to be picky a little bit, but yeah, so she kept asking questions like she wanted to do this and that, and I don't want to be mean because she's friends with a lot of my friends, so I don't want to be the asshole. So it was pretty bad. It was just dull, a lot of stalling, a lot of quietness.
The worst date was I was going out. It was a group thing. I didn't even realize it was a date. I guess it was a double date. I didn't realize I was on a double date. I just showed up because I thought we were all hanging out. And when I found out it was a date, I just felt really awkward. And things just kept getting more awkward and really quiet. And that was the worst. Because, you know, when something happens, at least it's funny. You can talk about it later. But when it's awkward, you're just like, what happened? Why was I there? And that's been the worst.
Probably just got set up on a blind date one time, and then the girl was not anything like what he showed me pictures of, and it ended up just being a really awkward night.
Not one I'm comfortable sharing.